There is one training mistake so devastating that it permanently damages your dog's ability to learn, trust, and bond with you. And 85% of dog owners make this error daily, without realizing they are destroying their dog's confidence and creating behavioral problems that will haunt their relationship forever. What I am about to reveal will completely change how you approach dog training, because this single mistake is responsible for more abandoned dogs, behavioral issues, and broken human-dog relationships than any other factor. Stay with me, because understanding this critical error could save your relationship with your dog and prevent years of frustration and heartbreak for both of you. Veterinary behaviorists at the Positive Training Research Institute have documented how this one training mistake creates long-term psychological damage that makes dogs fearful, anxious, and unable to form trusting relationships with humans. Their research proves that dogs who experience this training error show permanent changes in brain chemistry that affect their ability to learn, bond, and experience happiness throughout their entire lives. The mistake you make today will impact your dog's emotional health for years to come. The devastating training mistake that ruins dogs forever is using fear, intimidation, punishment, or dominance-based methods that teach dogs to obey through anxiety and submission rather than understanding and cooperation. When you yell, intimidate, physically correct, or use fear to control your dog's behavior, you create psychological trauma that destroys their natural desire to learn and please you. Fear-based training breaks your dog's spirit and replaces their love for you with anxiety about disappointing or angering you. Dogs trained through fear lose their natural curiosity, playfulness, and enthusiasm because they become focused on avoiding punishment rather than engaging in learning and bonding with you. Fear-based training creates dogs who obey out of terror rather than love, destroying the foundation of trust that healthy relationships require. Your dog should want to make you happy, not fear making you angry. The immediate damage from fear-based training includes stress responses that flood your dog's system with cortisol and adrenaline, creating chronic anxiety that affects their physical health, learning ability, and emotional well-being. Dogs under constant stress cannot learn effectively because their brains are focused on survival rather than processing new information. Fear prevents the relaxed, open mental state that dogs need for successful training and relationship building. Have you ever noticed your dog seems more anxious or shut down after training sessions rather than happy and engaged? Share your training experiences in the comments below, because recognizing these patterns is crucial. The long-term consequences of intimidation-based training include dogs who become reactive, aggressive, or completely shut down because they never learn to communicate their needs appropriately or trust that humans will respond with kindness. Dogs trained through fear often develop behavioral problems that are actually symptoms of psychological damage rather than disobedience or dominance issues. These dogs bite out of fear, become destructive from anxiety, or withdraw completely because they have learned that humans are unpredictable and potentially dangerous. The relationship damage from fear-based training is often irreversible because dogs who learn to fear their owners never fully trust them again, even after training methods change. Once dogs associate you with fear and unpredictability, they remain hypervigilant and anxious in your presence. This broken trust affects every aspect of your relationship and prevents the deep bonding that makes human-dog relationships so special and fulfilling. The learning impairment caused by fear-based training makes dogs unable to think clearly or process information because their brains remain in survival mode rather than learning mode. Fear shuts down the cognitive processes that allow dogs to understand what you want and remember training lessons. Dogs trained through fear often appear stupid or stubborn when they are actually too stressed to learn effectively. Fear makes dogs focus on avoiding punishment rather than understanding what behaviors make you happy. The emotional damage from intimidation training includes depression, anxiety disorders, and learned helplessness that persists even after training stops. Dogs who experience harsh training often lose their natural joy and become fearful of making mistakes or trying new things. This psychological damage affects their quality of life and prevents them from experiencing the happiness and confidence that healthy dogs naturally possess. But here is the most heartbreaking consequence. Dogs trained through fear often never recover their natural personality and remain anxious, guarded versions of themselves for their entire lives. The playful, confident dog your pet could have been as lost forever when fear-based training damages their psychological development. Many behavioral problems blamed on breed characteristics or individual personality are actually the result of training trauma that could have been prevented. The correct approach to dog training uses positive reinforcement, patience, and clear communication to build trust and understanding rather than compliance through fear. Dogs trained with kindness and consistency become eager learners who want to please you and form strong, trusting bonds that enhance both your lives. Positive training creates dogs who are confident, happy, and emotionally stable because they learn through success and encouragement rather than failure and punishment. Understanding why fear-based training is so damaging helps you recognize that effective dog training is about communication and relationship building rather than dominance and control. Your dog wants to understand what makes you happy and will work hard to please you when they trust that making mistakes will not result in punishment or rejection. Training should strengthen your bond and increase your dog's confidence rather than breaking their spirit. The transformation that occurs when you switch from fear-based to positive training methods is immediate and dramatic. Dogs who have been shut down by harsh methods often blossom into confident, enthusiastic learners when they discover that training can be fun and rewarding. Even dogs with training trauma can recover significantly when they experience consistent kindness and positive reinforcement, though the process takes patience and understanding. Your dog deserves training that builds them up rather than breaking them down, creating confidence rather than fear, and strengthening your relationship rather than damaging it. Every training session should leave your dog happier and more trusting than before, not more anxious or withdrawn. When training enhances your dog's natural desire to please you and learn new things, both of you benefit from the process. What training methods have you used with your dog? And have you noticed whether they seem more confident or more anxious after training sessions? Share your thoughts about positive versus fear-based training in the comments, because